Hey, welcome back, guys, to Six Samurai's lore. Talking Samurai. So, Six Samurai's lore's Talking Samurai, Episode 2, where I talk about Episode 2 of the episode of Six Samurai. I'm really out of it. Anyway. So we start off with Mizuho having turned into Hand of the Six Samurai, because she's no longer with the Six Samurai because of the death of her lover, Shinai. Because Shien went off. Kill! Shien. Shien killed Shinai. These names. So Mizuho is now the Hand of the Six Samurai, which was what asceticism pretty much portrays, Mizuho, asceticism, her, you got a hand. There's that cool little interaction. And, she gets emo. I would use another art for Mizuho without her armor and with her retired status, but Hand was really the only transition between her and her future her. So, she does look kind of old, but there's no in-between art for them. So, for you guys wondering why, between this episode, between this era of Hand and then the next generation where Kizan and Inishi got old, but she didn't. That's the reason why, because there's no in between. So imagine that she just wears a lot of makeup and she looks really youthful for most of her life. Go with that. So then Spirit comes along, which, as everybody knows, is dead Shinai's armor possessed by a spirit. And his role in this episode is to try to convince Mizuho, or Hand, in this comic card Mizuho, that she's being possessed by Shien. So, yeah, Shien is not the good guy that she thinks. She's obstinate about him not being the bad guy, because, that's her brother. She's still under her mind control too, so it's really difficult for her to, accept it. So there's, little drama between lovers. And, she's depressed and all that stuff. And then comes One Day of Peace. It was really, difficult, yet easy to figure out how to fit this card into the lore. Because it's Kizan's just chilling there, The main thing that helped solidify where I want to put this card into the lore was that he looks very lethargic, very emo, not emo, just sad. So I need to give him a reason to be sad, and what's a good reason to be sad? He remembers Shinai is dead. And this was a good opportunity for me to help solidify the relationship, or not relationship, his thoughts on his comrade, Shinai. And also, kind of hype up Shinai a little bit. So I made it so that he's there thinking about his dead friend, and then he's basically telling the audience, also for those who just started with episode 2, that Shinai is dead, / he was the best of them. One of the best warriors among their ranks. Oh, and I forgot to mention, during episode 1, the reason why I made Shinai one of considered the best of all the Six Samurai is because during episode 4, there has to be a good reason why Shinai can match up against Shien in terms of swordplay. Having been dead forever and then having Shien be actually fighting forever. So it kind of gives a little, so that's why he can keep up with him even after all these years kind of reason. So and then Inishi comes in, and then he fights Kizan. The reason why I have him do that there is so it can help solidify the rivalry between Kizan and Inishi more for the audiences to recognize. And it was a good opportunity to put that there because of Shien's dojo, which if you zoom in carefully enough, you can see that Shien's dojo has Kizan and Inishi fighting each other. And then if you zoom in closer, you can see that one of them is firing the thunder attack at Kizan. Well, Nishi's throwing thunder at Kizan. It was thanks to this here also, which I went back to episode 1 and then changed it so that instead of it having be like a fatal attack as like a last resort kind of thing, it was actually the prototype in thunder blasting abilities that Kageki invented. So like years later, Kageki's still alive, like after the whole thunder blast making him cripple thing. Kageki learns from his mistake and like figures out the tweaks, fixes it, and then installs it into everybody else's armor. Now everybody can go and then, you know, lightning doesn't kill them. So it kind of like gives a little bit more in depth to the story in terms of like people doing things. So let's see. You see a temple, it's like samurais. That's obvious. It was a temple. The castle mist. If you zoom in the background of the temple, you can see like the shadow temple. And it was there, which I decided to put in unification. Unification was really hard for me to like figure out where to put in. And then after a while, it just kind of clicked. Shien is looking down, so obviously he's at a high position. What high position is there rather than the Mist Temple? So at the Mist Temple, he's looking down. I need to give him a reason to look down at something. Like, what is he looking at? He's looking at the fight. So, from like the position that he's looking at, he's looking down at the fight, and I get to show off like how unhuman he is by saying he has really, really keen eyesight. And if you look at the unification too, you can see Kagemusha there when he's without his armor. So that was like a perfect time to like just animate Kagemusha into the story, so I can introduce him into the story. On the subject of Kagemusha, I made him like a pacifistic warrior because I need to give him a reason to doubt Shien's methods of life and such. And I wanted the readers to like Kagemusha. I wanted them to connect with him, to just like the character. Cause I want to pull on their heartstrings because he's gonna die. On that note, Kagemusha's effect where he redirects the target to him, that shows in the series because it's redirected. He's the body double. Well, spoilers for those of you guys who haven't seen it. The next episode, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, well, actually, no. I just said that he's gonna die. I should probably think about these talking words easier. It's like Kagemusha. He's on the corner of unification, so it's a good, perfect time to introduce him into the story. Advisor and Spy. Advisor is the older version of Shien's Daredevil, so I had to put him in the story somehow. And so I put him in there as the exposition guy. He tells Shien that there's going to be a second war against the ninjas because they're going to plan a surprise attack. And that surprise attack will lead into episode 3. And that was with that. And then I saw the card Shien's Spy. Now, I have to figure out what the spy's job is. What was she spying on? Well, I figured it's a good position to have her spy on the ninjas. So then she would be able to tell Advisor, and Advisor can tell Shien, and then look, the story can go along. Actually, it was kind of backwards. I looked at Shien's Spy, and then I needed a reason for the spy to spy on something. So I made the spy on the ninjas, and then to tell Advisor to tell Shien. There we go. And then that's Advisor and Spy's role in the story. Also, Spy and Kagemusha, I made them interact with each other because, well, I wanted people to like Kagemusha. What easier way to do that than to have him talk to somebody? Well, he's already talked to Shien, so I made him talk to the spy, like, after that. So, this way, I can help develop the character of Kagemusha, which helps the readers like Kagemusha more. So, it worked. And I need, like, one little last push to connect readers to Kagemusha. And that is the date he sets up with Spy. And, so, Spy, like, after they talk about, Kagemusha being a good guy, Kagemusha basically developed a character with Spy. Spy eventually ends up liking Kagemusha, so she invites him on a date to, I think it was tea. She invites him on a date. He says, "Sure, I'd love to." Little does he know he's never going to be able to go on that date, which I wanted to, like, connect the readers to be like, "Aw, it's sad. He never got to go on the date. He never got to lose his virginity." And yeah, I just wanted the readers to, like, figure that. But judging from the comments, I don't think anybody put 2 and 2 together. So that effect kind of just went out the window. But thanks to the talking lore stuff, I get to actually tell you guys about it. Then now you're like, oh, that's unfortunate for Kagemusha. So hopefully I got the effect out to, like, more people. So Kagemusha goes into the armory and meets the Chamberlain. So Chamberlain, everybody knows, was Kageki after he gets crippled by using his Thunderblast prototype. And Kagemusha fanboys over Kageki. And I did that because I wanted to solidify the relationship within the game, kind of thing. Like a little cameo, like a little nod off to the game. Because, you summon Kageki, you special Kagemusha, and you make Shien. So everybody figures those two as the dynamic duo within the Yu-Gi-Oh game. So I wanted them to mesh in the story. And I wanted to have another person say, "Aw, Kagemusha, you're such a good boy. I like you. I like you." And then, too bad you're gonna die. I'm really hard doing the death thing. So, Chamberlain is now there to make armor and upgrades to armor. Like, example being now Shien, now Kizan and Nishi can do the whole Thunder Blast without dying. So, I want to improve upon that. And it was a good opportunity because of the new generation of Six Samurai with Yaichi, Uro, and such. Now, at this point of the story, Mizuho's gone, Shinai's gone, and Kageki's gone. So that leaves 3 samurais. They're no longer the 6 samurai. So what happens after that? Well, a new generation of 6 samurai is going to come into play. So this is a perfect opportunity to use, like, a lot of them. And there's a card called Return of the 6 Samurai. So it was perfect to put right there. I can show off Kageki's ability to make armor, and I get to show off, like, I get to hype up, basically, the new generation of 6 Samurai. Because people are going to be like, "Oh crap, there's Yariza, he's equipping his armor, the Swift Strike armor, and then, his next episode's going to be so cool because they get to show up." Hopefully that effect got off. And it was a good opportunity to show off the Swift Strike armor, because the armor is just kind of chilling there on the card, so I need to figure out where to put it there. So I figured this is a perfect opportunity to show off the card Return to 6 Samurai, and Swift Strike armor to, like, he's the last samurai to get equipped, so it gives, like, kind of a good introduction to new generation 6 Samurai using the cards all at once. So Yari's gets some screen time there and introduces a new generation. And then the episode goes on and it ends with Shien showing off his ability to do mind control powers. And then he tells Kagemusha, congratulations, you're getting a promotion. What promotion is there? He's become Shogun for a night and show off his doppelganger, his bi-double skills. So yeah, that is Talking Samurai episode 2, guys. Hope you enjoy your day.